The return of Larry Sinclair.
Yay!
I didn't know what else to name it, so that's just what I called it. The return of Larry Sinclair. I mean, he's kind of back in the headlines, I guess. Kinda. Or not. He's not really in the headlines, but he's in our headlines.
Exactly.
We talked about him on the radio show today.
And that makes him part of the headlines.
He's part of the family. He's part of the Hey Now Nation.
There we go.
We've gotten so close
Hey
with
now.
Larry. Like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Look at that.
You see all the presidents? Hold on, let's get all the presidents.
The three most important Republicans: Lincoln, Reagan, and Trump. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Feels good. Feels like it was made for me.
Tony Gump, what's up, buddy?
How nay?
I'm just excited. Why hasn't anybody sued Larry Sinclair yet? You would think they would sue him by now.
Right. If you had somebody lying about you, you would sue him, especially if you're Barack Obama. You know?
Yeah.
Well, certainly now's not a good time.
Yeah, if you accuse him of like smoking crack and everything, surely there'd be a lawsuit by now.
Right. You'd think. Unless while Obama eats dog meat, Larry Sinclair eats Obama's meat.
Oh,
How about that?
Yeah, the circle of life, the circle jerk of life. What the heck, John Burns? Stop it!
The circle jerk of life.
God.
Anyway, we don't want to get into that too early. We'll
Right
get
off
into
the bat.
it. We're already deteriorating, especially when you start talking about Doug Emhoff's brother Jack.
That's right.
Jack Emhoff.
You haven't heard much about him?
No, sir. They don't bring him
They're
up.
hiding him.
We are live. For those of you watching live, thank you for joining us. For those of you watching on the backside, do better. All right. Set your alarms. We asked the audience, the radio audience, to set their alarm.
Yes.
Screenshot it and send it to us. And so many people did. And there's a lot of people right now whose alarms are going off and they're going, what did I set that for? And they're probably not going to join us.
If they had followed the instructions and typed in "Hey now,"
well, that would, yeah. If they did it right, then they would be reminded. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to grab those and make a collage. A screenshot.
Well, that's what you said you were going to do about people's animals, and we never did it.
Yeah, well, I started doing that, but I didn't get a whole lot. I didn't get as many as I wanted. I got like maybe 2.5 pages worth.
To make one collage?
No, but collage is like only 9.
Well,
I was hoping for 300 animals.
No,
300 animals.
We did a collage one time back when this first was accused of being the WP. Mm-hmm. You remember? They said that's a white supremacist sign. We got everybody. This is at the other station. We got everybody to text in themselves doing that, and we made a collage out of that. So it's just a bunch of listeners' hands doing the OK symbol.
And now it just means okay.
Yeah, we were taking the okay back. It's okay to be okay.
It is okay to be okay, unless you're left, and then you're not okay with yourself or anybody or anything. You're miserable. You're miserable.
And sometimes John Burns not okay, but that's not every day.
Not every day.
Some days you are okay.
Mm-hmm. Some days I'm more okay than others.
Correct. That's correct. I can usually, when we start our day, like when I first get in the studio, I can usually kind of gauge John Bird before he, like, we'll usually nod to each other or give a, what's up, bro, through the glass. I can usually gauge, though, John Bird before we even have that interaction on where he's at. But
you know what? There's some times when I'm like, and you're like, listen, you got the music, your headphones are all rattling, and you're like,
is that what I look like?
Yeah, you're like, your headphones are doing this. Talk. Like that. And, I'm like.
And I'm ignoring you?
Yeah, and then I just go back down and do it, and then you're like, you do it to me, and oh, hey.
Yeah.
So you don't know. I could have been up, but you brought me down.
But guess what?
Only to bring me back up.
I was going to say, by 11 o'clock, you're back up.
That's right.
And that's what matters.
That's right.
I think, why don't we do this with, I was so over the moon about Donald Trump on Gutfeld last night.
Wow.
I mean, what a genius boss move to go on that show. First of all, it's the highest rated late night show and has been for a while. Mm-hmm. It's blowing the rest of them out of the water because where all the other late night shows are hyper liberal, Gutfeld's not hyper-conservative. It's actually, Gutfeld's like a libertarian. Gutfeld's the type of guy that thinks we should decriminalize all drugs. And he will argue with people on Fox News about it. Cat Temp, the same way.
Yeah.
Tyrus is in the middle.
Love Tyrus.
Then they bring on different comedians and stuff like that. It's about as middle-of-the-road news show as you're going to get. And it's really the epitome of what late-night shows used to be. Which was in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like late-night shows used to be, but with a new age flair to it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so Donald Trump looked at that situation and he said, best ratings, best talent, everybody's watching this. Why wouldn't I go on there? He goes where the eyeballs are. This guy, Donald Trump, loves ratings. Loves it. Ever since The Apprentice, he has been like, I want to win.
He's a master.
He wants to win at everything, including ratings. So he goes on Gutfeld, and we've actually got some of those clips.
Yes.
This one, I think this is where they were talking about his ear, where at the RNC he showed Greg Gutfeld his ear or something. Watch.
Lucky dog.
Something was definitely wrong, and it was a mess. I touched. I said, "That's unusual."
Remember when you showed it to me?
I showed it.
Yeah, you showed it to me. You said, "I know people aren't going to believe this, so Gutfeld, take a look at my ear."
That's right. We met in at the convention.
Yeah.
And I said, who am I going to show it to? We have a lot of guys. They'll say it didn't exist. And I actually did have such confidence in him, and he's really a very special guy, talented guy, good guy, great guy. And I said, if I'm going to show it, let's do it with Gutfeld.
Yes.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Because it happened right after.
Yeah, how did you get him to see the top of your ear?
Well, I sat in a low chair.
Okay, thank you.
But you know what? It was true. And I took the bandages off very carefully.
Yeah.
And I showed him. He said, "That's nasty."
Yes.
That was nasty. But
I kind of wanted to touch it, but I knew I would have been tackled. And I would have enjoyed it. But
It's so funny. So funny. That's good stuff. Oh, yeah, here's another one. This is where... So, another genius thing they've been doing is where he is not at the rallies, but he's doing these town halls, and when he does them, he takes questions from the audience and knocks it out of the park every time because he doesn't know what these questions are going to be.
Yes.
He's literally doing it on the fly. Here, apparently, Greg Gutfeld was taking questions not directly from the audience. I guess the audience put in questions beforehand, and this is what they're talking about.
got some questions from the audience. They were just submitted. Evangeline has a good one. What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, that's a dangerous question.
What do we not know
I got a
about
call
him?
from a couple of people. Could you please be careful in this show? You're going to have a good time. We don't need scandals. We're leading in the polls. We don't need any scandals. So maybe I shouldn't answer that question.
How about this? Do you wear pajamas?
I don't.
Okay.
Do you own blue jeans?
Do you own blue jeans?
He sleeps in the suit.
I have a very old pair that I saw. I doubt I fitted it.
Because we were talking about this. I've never seen you at the beach. We see Biden all the time at the beach. Do you ever sunbathe?
I'll tell you this. I see Biden too. All he had. Somebody told him he looks great at the beach in a bathing suit. And I think it's terrible when you see a president lying on the beach on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and he's stone cold out.
Yes.
He's out.
Yes.
Who can sleep in front of cameras that are rolling?
In the heat. In the heat. You only sleep like 3 hours, right?
Well, I don't sleep much. I'd like to sleep more, but probably 4 hours, 5 hours.
Do you get a good sleep, a solid?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and nobody sleeps well. And everybody's always trying to find the answer.
Well, that's the purpose of this next election, so we can sleep well again.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I've lost a little bit of sleep. There's no doubt.
I can't wait that one day I'll be able to tell my grandchildren that the President of the United States stole my seat. And Mr. President, if you're going to sit,
honor.
Oh wow! Thank you for WrestleMania 4 and 5, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. But if you're going to sit in that chair, if you're going to do the Tyrus experience, you have to do it right because you are the people's champion, Mr. Trump.
Wow!
And on behalf.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I might one of those.
I like that.
He looks so small compared to Tyrus, you know.
I know.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the man who makes all the professional ones.
Yeah.
There you
Come on, lift it up, buddy.
No, but this is the real one. This is a real deal. This
Yeah.
No, I'm going to give a fake belt to the next president.
We're more used to that. That's good. Thank you, Terrence.
You are the people's champion.
You're going to have to wear that on the golf course for safety reasons.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, have you ever been fired? Like in a regular job?
Well, I went to work for my father out of school, and he was a tough guy, very tough, but he liked the job I did. So I have never experienced being fired. Fired a lot of people. Fired a lot of people.
Have you, John Bird?
Fired
Never
a lot
mind.
of people, but
I already know.
I've never experienced it. I wouldn't like.
I
wouldn't like to experience it, actually.
Yeah. I was fired 3 times. So far.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well,
we had. It's true. He didn't treat me well at all.
I know. I saw him the whole time. I was like, look at this guy.
Early
He's so
on.
mean.
No, early on. And I actually met him once at Mar-a-Lago, I think. And I met you at the ballroom. They were doing a big charity. I said hello. I was very
Greg
nice.
used to not
But
like
he never
Trump.
treated me well.
Really?
And then I agreed to do an interview, and it was supposed to be just a quickie. I said, look, this guy I can't stand the guy. They set up an interview, and I said, it'll be like for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something quick. And they set up this whole thing. And the interview lasted for 2.5 hours because we got along. We had an unbelievable chemistry. And I can honestly say, I really think, because I love what he says. He says, look, maybe he's not a nice guy, but he gets everything done. Would you rather have a nice guy where the country goes to hell? But I do. I get it done. And I think I'm a nice guy, too. I like to be a nice guy. But he did this interview. So, and I'm going to take total credit for the show, okay? No, credit almost equal to you guys. It was just chemistry. We got along incredibly well. And that was it. And then he did a 5-parter.
Yes.
Every night he had Trump on, and he got ratings that were through the roof. And honestly, his ratings were okay, but they weren't setting he got ratings that were through the roof. He was the #1 show of the week. It was the great. And you know what? It never stopped.
Yeah.
So I take full credit.
Good job. Good job, Mr. President. Good job. So that's pretty funny. I actually didn't know anything about that interview that they had done. I don't know when that was. It obviously was, I guess maybe during the primaries or something. But yeah, Greg Gutfeld was not a fan of Donald Trump. And a lot of people weren't. A lot of people, even myself, I was like, I love this. This is back in 2015. I'm like, this dude's awesome. I said, but there's no way they're going to let him be the nominee. He's just too out there. He's too outlandish. He's saying all the things that we're saying. He's saying the things, he's connecting with us because he's saying the things that we've always talked about amongst each other. I said, and that's exactly why they're not going to let him be the nominee. So I just kind of went with that. And as people started peeling off in 2015, 2016, I'm like, oh, this dude might have a chance. He might actually be the nominee. Everybody remembers the infamous Ann Coulter on Bill Maher. They said, who's got the best chance of the declared? And she says, Donald Trump. Everybody's laughing at her. She ended up being right. Like, at some point, people started taking him serious, and he ends up winning the nomination. But then the Republican Party still despised him and tried to keep him out of there, and even tried to railroad his presidency. John McCain and others with the dossier. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. Let's do one more clip of Gutfeld. I just like this stuff so much. What's he talking about here? I think he's talking about, what was he talking about last time? Was he talking about sleep? Pajamas?
Yeah.
Sleep pajamas.
I don't know what this is. Just play it anyway. Who cares?
Barack Hussein Obama's brother is
Oh, he's talking about Tim
supporting
Walz. That's what it
This
is.
Governor Walz, his brother and his whole family is supporting me. In fact, they want to make contributions to my campaign.
Well, to be fair, a lot of brothers are supporting President Trump.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we do over here.
It is funny. Waltz is a strange dude.
Oh, he's strange.
He is
he's
strange.
crazy.
Him and I are the same age. How does he look so much younger?
No, he's a strange guy.
It's strange.
He called up years ago. I was in the White House, and he said, my house is being surrounded by people with American flags. I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? He said, I think they're going to attack me. This was during the riots and everything else. They were MAGA people. They like the American flag, all right? And they also had Trump. And I said, how do you know? There were about 15,000, he said. he said, could you put out a word like that I'm your friend? I don't even know him, but that's the only time I ever spoke to him. And if you look back long ago,
She's enamored.
Tweets. Long ago, I put out a statement. He's a good man, the governor. He's on our side. I didn't know him, but I didn't want him to get hurt. And everybody put down their flags and they left. Yes. He said it was a miracle. He said it was a miracle. I didn't want him to get hurt.
Scared by the American flag.
They are. They
say he's not a nice guy. I would have had fun with that. It's called a barbecue. Go outside.
Yeah. He remembers it, actually. He was a little bit nervous about things. They had one guard. He said, we have one guard at the door. It was the mansion for the state. Then he said, we have one guard at the door, and you have 15,000 people out there. And I'm a little bit, I don't know, they look violent. I said, are they carrying the American flag? They're not going to be violent.
Yes.
But I put out a statement, and they just went back. It was sort of a beautiful thing in a lot of ways. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. God, that was good. That was so good. I'm glad he did that. You know who wouldn't do that? You want to guess? That's right. Kamala Harris would never. She probably wouldn't even go on a liberal late night show because she can't. She can't freestyle. She can't just talk off the cuff.
Too many opportunities for her to be made fun of because she'll be at her worst as far as those things they're trying to downplay.
So if you think about it, the last two presidential elections, Democrats have had to hide their candidates.
Yep.
Two different candidates, and they've had to hide them both. Remember when I played today the what was it, the Indian talking about Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
See, nobody ever asked Indians because all of a sudden she's black. So I thought it would be appropriate if we take to social media and we ask an actual Indian what you think about Kamala Harris.
You know what? Probably some of the liberals that listened to the show today were like, "Oh, that's somebody just doing an Indian accent. That's not a real Indian."
No,
guy.
it's a real Indian. It's a real Indian.
About to find out.
Look, it's a real Indian guy, straight up. He's got a post-it on his head. Anyway, go ahead.
After much self-reflection, I have come to the realization that there is one thing very Indian about you, and that is that you became the Democratic nominee without a single vote. Bitch, you pulled the biggest scam of all time. No Indian I know, from the call centers to email phishing, no Indian I know has scammed 250 million people. Not bad, Kamala. That's pretty good numbers. If you manage to actually win the election, you will have pulled off the biggest Indian scam of all time. From here on out, your new name is not Camel Toe, actually. It is now Scamala. Scamala Harris. Don't act like us. Don't act like us. Don't act like us.
I don't even know what that's about, but I like it. It's got a nice beat to it.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah, I mean, from the call centers to the phishing emails, nobody has pulled up, nobody in all of India has pulled off a scam quite like this.
Another first.
Another first. You know, the Democrats are in the business. I can't believe they're not capitalizing on that. I mean, come on.
I got to admit, when I heard the radio show earlier, I thought it was a fake accent.
No, it's a real Indian. I don't do fake accents on my show. Only the real deal.
Yep.
I mean, John Bird does accents
I do
and
not.
stuff.
How do you lie? How do they know? They don't see me doing it.
That's
You didn't think about that, did you?
It's true.
That's true.
Do it. Let's see your Indian accent.
I will that is horrific. How dare you talk to me like that? That is very right.
Do an Indian accent pretending to be super proud of Kamala Harris and congratulating her on becoming the Democrat nominee.
Congratulations.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else to say.
You can always say thank you for calling T-Mobile or something.
Thank you. Come again.
No, you can't do that. Don't say that.
Why?
Oh, you'll get canceled.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Remember they dropped Apu. I say Apu for president. Actually, Kamala Harris should have selected Apu as her running mate.
A cartoon character?
Yes. I mean, they're buying everything else. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
So this is the purpose of all of this, and this spurred not from our fascination with Larry Sinclair.
Mm-hmm. No, it did not.
We did not bring Larry to the table. Somebody else did. Kill Tony. Is everybody familiar with Kill Tony? I mean, no offense.
Yeah, don't hurt me.
Okay. No, Kill Tony is a show where they have it's a stand-up comedy show for, I guess, amateurs, like an amateur stand-up, whatever. And there's a panel of people, and I don't know this guy's real name. I guess it's Tony something, but it's that guy and then a couple of his friends, and then they always have a guest or two, a couple guests. Shane Gillis is on there. That Shane Gillis acting as Donald Trump one time, which was really funny. And these random guys just apply. They think they're funny. They think they're stand-up comics. And they get up.
No.
They got like 60 seconds to make a pitch. And then the guys on the panel rate them, whether they're good or not. Most of them suck, and they just railroad them right there in front of everybody.
It's the car crash syndrome.
Right,
I can't look away.
In this particular case, I don't know if this guy was any good because I didn't hear his set. He's back and forth with the Kill Tony host and the guest. Now, the guest in this particular episode are Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, man.
And this guy asks Tucker Carlson, hey, is that Larry Sinclair thing actually true? Here's how it went down.
Tucker, I genuinely have to ask you, did that one guy suck Obama's dick? Did that actually happen? I have the answer, and let me say I don't judge, but oh yeah. I've been wondering that, honestly. That's been something that I've been wondering He told me off camera I actually did that. I was like, ugh. He did. Cool, yeah. Not kidding at all.
Unbelievable. The question everyone wanted to ask Tucker, and it has been answered here on Kill Tony. The look on Joe Rogan's face says it all.
I mean, if I got an opportunity to ask Tucker one question, well, it's been answered now, but before this, that would have probably been the first one, right?
But you didn't. I mean, who knew?
Because everybody remembers, and we did a whole episode on it, when Tucker did the interview with Larry Sinclair, who was the guy that says he hooked up with Obama, did drugs, and
rubbed the leg, and
gave him the old you know what. Here's actually, this is the episode. Fast forward to 12 minutes. And this is it sad that I know exactly where the Juicy Part store is?
I've seen this once or twice.
So this is about the time, and I'm actually just guessing, but this is about where he starts talking about meeting Obama. Mm-hmm. Now, wasn't this what, like, soon after Tucker got booted from Fox News? Like, this was one of his first interviews?
Yeah, it was one of in the first 10 for sure.
It was before the Tucker Carlson network and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want to come out swinging with a new platform, like a new channel? Bring on Larry Sinclair to kick that bad boy off.
I heard he wanted to bring him on the regular show, and they wouldn't allow it to happen. So that's probably why he had him first.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, we'll just watch part of this. And so for those that aren't in the loop and don't know about the Larry Sinclair story, this is Larry's version of events from, the late 90s?
99.
99.
Yeah, it was November of 99, I believe. Maybe December.
When he ran into the soon-to-be, he's not the senator yet, right? The soon-to-be senator from the state of Illinois, Barack Obama. Come on, Tucker!
It just paused me out.
Yeah, just refresh it. We can stall.
All right, 1 second. Go ahead and talk.
And he said, "Go ahead and talk." Thank you. Come again. Go ahead with your Indian accent, John Bird.
I did. Yeah, did. Hello, everyone.
Do your Indian accent like you're talking to Larry Sinclair.
I'm really uncomfortable doing this. I mean, there's two things I'm uncomfortable about. I mean, I have a cousin who's Indian. I'm a 16th Cherokee, so I just feel a little...
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. Go ahead and kick it off.
So Barack actually made the drive out to Gurnee, which is a suburb outside of Chicago.
I think he's gay.
To the hotel for me to be
I'm
dropped
not sure.
off.
I think he's gay.
What hotel was that?
It
I think
was
he
the
is,
Comfort Inn in Gurnee.
Ooh, that sounds depressing.
Comfort Inn.
Yeah, I remember
Comfort
the name
Inn.
now.
Yeah. No,
And it was close to the Great Lakes Naval facilities.
yeah.
But I got dropped off. They left. The next day was somewhat interesting because he ends up showing up at my hotel room.
Okay,
which
pause
I
it,
thought
pause it.
was
I think what needs to
somewhat
happen is because when all this went down was when he first met Obama, right? Like that was their first interaction.
I think so.
Is that what you remember? Okay, so we need to back it up because this is he was talking about getting dropped off. That must have been after they did the deal.
yeah.
So go back to like I don't know 8 minutes or something like that and see if we can pick up there. See what happens with this love story.
And it's doing the same stuff. 1 second.
Why? Elon, what are you doing, bro? Stop it.
I have to refresh it every time.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And I hear they're saying in the chat that Trump's speaking in Washington.
Is he? We'll check in on that too. Actually, we can check in on that. Yeah, go ahead and just set that up and then go to YouTube or Right Side Broadcasting, see if they're carrying it.
All right.
We'll look at that for a minute and see what's going on. By the way, Right Side Broadcasting, they deserve all the credit in the world for what they do.
They do a great job.
They do a fantastic job. All right, here's Trump
Win the
live.
fight, so don't worry about it, okay? We'll win the fight. There are those that say it's very much like a long time ago when you could say anything, but all across our land you've seen Jewish Americans harassed and attacked and terrorized by anti-Semites and Hamas sympathizers. I can't believe what we've been witnessing over the last year. Actually, I've watched it in great detail. I've watched it, and I've watched it take place. It's hard to believe, yet despite presiding over this explosion of anti-Semitism, Kamala Harris has done absolutely nothing. She has not lifted a single finger to protect you or to protect your children or to even protect you with words. I'm here today to tell the Jewish American community that this ugly tide of anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas bigotry and hate will be turned back and crushed starting at noon on January 20th, 2020.
There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Stay alive.
Yeah, just stay alive. That's all we ask you to do at this point.
Thank you. It will be a bright new day for the Jewish community in America. No longer will you have to walk the streets in fear. You're walking the streets in fear. Can you believe it? Young college students are afraid to go to college. It's not something that anybody thought they would ever hear or see. No longer will you be threatened on your college campuses. No longer will you be discriminated against in college admissions. And no longer will your own government import jihadists from places that we don't even want to talk about. And
that'd be a
they
good
want
thing.
Jew haters from overseas, and they let them come in and resettle in your
Stop them from coming here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody's ever seen
Absolutely.
anything like
Jihadists.
it. My promise to Jewish Americans is this: with your vote, I will be your defender, your protector, and I will be the best friend Jewish Americans have ever had in the White House.
Yeah, baby.
T-Man.
You know that.
You know that, John Bird.
Yes, I do. You're darn right I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But in all fairness, I already am. I think I already am. I don't have to think. In fact, I already am. I am the best defender you've had as president by far. I think there would be no question. Miriam mentioned 4 or 5 of the things. Those are each individual.
Okay,
thing.
so
Her husband.
we'll split from this. This is Trump's in Washington D.C. speaking at. I guess maybe there's some sort of Jewish organization that he's doing so many events you can't keep up with them these days. There's just so many. So like when we're doing the show, if we carry some of them, I just have to happen to spot it on TV, and it's like.
But you pretty much just about every day.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
We're always going to get part of it in, at least. At least. But let's go back to the matter at hand, which is Larry Sinclair and him telling Tucker his story. Again, many of y'all know about this already, but it is a story worth revisiting. And plus, we're probably telling some people that don't know.
That's right.
This is a very important part of American history.
It is.
We should be putting it in the textbooks.
Driving or parked?
No, the driver's driving.
Yep.
I start to put a line on a CD tray, and I just happen to notice that he pulls something else out of his pocket.
Ooh.
And next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I don't have an issue with it. I mean, some people smoke, some people
He's an English
smoke.
gentleman smoking a pipe.
Yes.
Oh.
So as I'm doing a line, I just start. This is the part where you kind of make your move to see where things are going. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Hamana.
So the night became somewhat active sexually and drug-wise in the limo.
Barack.
So you hit on him. Did he seem shocked by that?
Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you're smoking crack with a stranger in the back of a limo, like, you got to imagine things might go crazy places.
Well, not only imagine it, I look at it this way. I've done a lot of crazy things in my lifetime. I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I pretty much know whether or not I can move in a certain direction with an individual. I didn't feel that I was going in the wrong direction. I just wasn't so sure how much I could trust the individual at first. And that was probably one of my bigger concerns. But the fact that I was already becoming somewhat buzzed, you kind of throw caution to the wind.
You weren't sure you could trust the individual. What does that mean?
When you meet someone out of the blue and you go to a level that you're doing drugs with, or you're giving money to purchase drugs, or even for sexual activity, you have to be sure that you can trust them. And when I say trust, I mean that you're not going to end up being robbed, or that you're not going to end up having a knife stuck into you, from one direction.
He's been through that a time or two.
Or that you're not going to pull up somewhere and all of a sudden the car door is going to open and you got 5 people pulling you out of it.
Totally.
That's what I mean when I say trust someone.
And you've been around at this point in your life, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
So probably not your first time in a situation like this.
Not at all. And that's why I said I pretty much know where I can go and at what point.
So you start rubbing his leg, and I think, I'll just be totally blunt with you, like a man who's not into gay sex would be like, whoa, settle down.
Trust me, if it was something that you were not interested in, and you're right, I've had guys that I read wrong that would literally try to break your hand.
For sure.
If you went in that route. So it's not like this was something that he wasn't into. It's not something that he was shocked by. Shocked by, you don't get excited and you don't unbutton your pants and you don't just sit there and let it happen. So it definitely wasn't Barack's first time. That much I'm absolutely certain of. And I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
So you performed oral sex with Barack Obama. In the driver's up front?
Yep.
And he's cool with this?
The driver has the partition up. He didn't have a problem with it. He didn't put it down for any reason.
I mean, he kind of set up the whole thing for this in the first place.
Exactly. And I have a funny feeling he had no bones to pick with it as far as what took place in it.
So what happened after?
Afterwards, I actually went back to my hotel. I had specifically asked that he drop Barack off first, but for some reason he and Barack chose that they would drop me off at the hotel first and then he would take Barack. So Barack actually made the drive out to Gurnee, which is a suburb outside of Chicago, to the hotel for me to be dropped off.
What hotel was that?
It was the Comfort Inn in Gurnee.
Ooh, that sounds depressing.
I remember it was 99. And it was close to the Great Lakes Naval facilities. But I got dropped off. They left. The next day was somewhat interesting because he ends up showing up at my hotel room, which I thought was somewhat weird.
Yeah, to knock out some more teeth.
But
he wanted some more.
He showed up.
He showed up. I mean, I had no warning. I was in the room. There's a knock on the door. I open the door, and he's standing there. And he's standing there with more Coke, and he comes in, and it was just like a quick, rehash or rerun from the night before.
Exact same program.
Exact same program.
Was he smoking again?
Yep.
So Barack Obama smokes crack, and then you perform oral sex on him.
And like I said, the only reason I had come out about it is I had reached out to the campaign even in 2007, only because I saw all these kids getting excited about it.
Okay, wait, so how did that end?
Same way. So you get off, you finish smoking, you leave.
Thanks, bye?
Mm-hmm.
Duck and cover.
What did you think of
Wham, bam, thank you, man.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was definitely a con.
What do you mean by that?
Well, in my life at that point, you made it clear I had already been around.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So when people are doing things because they actually really enjoy it, or they're sincere, or they're looking, for a connection, or they're doing something because they're looking for an in, or they're looking for a hook, or it's a game.
Yeah.
So for me, I felt that it was a game for him. It was like, okay, what am I going to get out of it, or is there something I can get out of it other than just, the sexual part?
Right.
And lucky for me, I wasn't going back to Chicago anytime soon, so it really didn't matter.
So you were left with a bad taste in your mouth.
Something.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. So good.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, actually, I mean, he came back to the hotel for the second time, so I guess that is thank you. Come again.
He just seems like he's speaking like the truth. I really think this all happened.
Well, if you go back, he was talking about this years ago and even held a press conference about it and recounted all of the things that he's recounting on Tucker's show. Like he's been consistent through the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you go back, here it is right here. You go back and watch the original press conference he did. He looks like he's in better shape.
He's sexy.
May have all of his teeth. I don't know what this completely entails. It's like 10 minutes long, but we'll just play the front end of it and see what we get.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Sinclair. In regards to the Obama incident, I flew out of Colorado Springs, Colorado to Chicago on November 2nd, 1999, arriving in O'Hare early in the morning of November 3rd. I went to the Chicago area to attend the graduation of my godson, my best friend's son, from basic training from the Great Lakes Navy Training Facility. I made reservations at the Comfort Inn and Suites in Gurnee, Illinois, based solely on the location to the training center. On November 5th, 1999, I hired the services of 5-Star Limousine. Excuse me. I had hired them both for November 5th.
Got a hair stuck in my throat.
1999.
Oh, God.
On November 6,
Must be from the overflow room.
Whose name I now reveal for the first time. Jagir Paramit Mutani.
That was the limo driver's name.
Thank you, come again. Chicago. Mr. Mutani understood that I was looking for someone who knew Chicago and would enjoy socializing. Mr. Mutani said he knew someone who was a friend of his. On November 6, 1999, after picking me up at the hotel in Gurnee, and this is significant, Mr. Mutani used his cell phone to make a call. That call was made to then Illinois State Senator Barack Obama to set up an introduction between myself and Senator Obama.
So he was a senator then.
Upon arriving at the bar and exiting the limo, Senator Obama was standing next to Mr. Mutani, and I was introduced to Senator Obama by name. Later that evening in a bar which I believe was called Alibis, and I state believe because I have failed so far to get Citigroup to provide the credit card receipts that has the actual name.
Interesting.
I mentioned that it was a line or two to wake up. Senator Obama asked me if I was referring to coke, and I stated I was. After stating I was, Obama stated he could purchase cocaine for me and then made a telephone call. This too is significant, from a cell phone to a presently unknown individual, during which Senator Obama arranged the cocaine purchase. Senator Obama and I then departed the bar in my limousine and proceeded to an unknown location where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket.
You might be on coke,
Obama
right?
then smoked the crack cocaine.
Right.
I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine. After which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Okay, so if we sit here and listen to this story, it is identical to the story that he told Tucker Carlson.
There's no pausing. There's no
And Obama's story is the same, which is no comment.
Yeah.
His story
He's consistent. That's what.
Yeah, they would have. And granted, Larry Sinclair has nothing, so you could sue him, but you wouldn't get anything out of it.
Right.
But it would be worth the optics to say, I'm suing the guy for slander, but the last thing you would want to do if he's not lying is have all that drug through court and the facts of the case be brought out, such as the Citibank receipts and things of that nature.
I think that's why you haven't seen that happen, is they can't control. They don't have full control of that situation. So if there's any questions at all, they're not going to act on it, I don't think.
I just, man, what is it with the Democrat politicians and just being sexual deviants?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have sued this guy if I was Obama and none of the stuff happened for sure.
Yeah, you got Obama, you got Joe Biden showering with his daughter, you got Kamala Harris riding every jock in town, Willie Brown, Montel Williams,
and Tim Walz.
And Tim Walz with the damn horse.
Excuse me.
Well, anyway, that's fascinating. I don't know. Yeah, and most people would say all of that's irrelevant because Obama's not in politics. But the thing is, Obama is pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
Got that right.
I'm just saying.
I still think there's a couple people telling him what to do at this point still.
Yeah, it goes on up the chain. But
yeah,
Michelle Obama's got a new drink, by the way. Have y'all seen that?
No.
Search for refreshing.
Pull up another Twitter and search for Michelle Obama drink and see if it shows that. I saw it earlier, and she was like at a Costco or something. What was it? Oh, it's called Plezzy Fizz. Please Fizz.
Fuzzy piss.
Fuzzy piss.
Fuzzy.
Type in Plizzy, Plizi. Is it Plizzy Fizz? You can just put it in there by itself too. Please, Michelle.
I don't even know how to spell it. Plizzy Fizz.
Yeah, I think that's it. Plizzy Fizz.
Where are you, Plizzy Fizz?
I'm seeing this right here. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Click on that Dinesh D'Souza tweet. Go down. Up. Click on Dinesh D'Souza's tweet. There it is. What does the headline say? It says, video of Michelle Obama has a lot of people talking. Click that article. And let's see what video they're talking about. She's doing samples at Costco. Yada, yada, yada. There's a picture of it. You can click on that.
Plezzy Fizz.
Yeah.
Delish.
Look at her. She's towering over. There's a video out there of her talking about it or like giving out the free samples, and she just towers over everybody. She's tall, like a man. And she's like, it's so healthy. It doesn't have any calories.
You know,
I'm like, that stuff looks like it's straight from Mexico, first of all.
Yes, it does. It's got the color scheme and all that.
That's when you go to the Mexican or the Arab gas station, there's a lot of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's like that across the country, but do y'all notice, like when you go into, especially in Birmingham, the Arab gas stations, it's full of Mexican stuff. is that Mexican like products from Mexico. Is that because I mean they obviously whatever their customer base is buying the most of.
Right.
Is it because of I don't know, like construction workers are coming through there all the time? Like how they, I know
I'm sure they're catering to a clientele.
a lot of taco trucks, which are always good, by the way.
Yes.
If you ain't had a taco truck in a while, you might want to.
There's a taco truck right by the station.
Really?
I'm tempted to stop there, but I don't ever have any cash.
Oh, Vulcan Drive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dead. That's hookers alleyway right there.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a
prostitution.
lot of Mexican workers. I mean, and I do notice they do have live pigs sometimes in the morning.
Live pigs?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if I go in at like 8 or whatever, they'll have live pigs.
Was just walking around?
No, they're not walking around. They're tied up behind the trailer thing.
That would make me not want to eat there.
Yeah, it's a. There's not live pigs there. Shut up.
You guys are so gullible.
What are we in Springfield right now?
Yes,
For real.
Springfield.
The Haitian taco truck.
Compolo.
Poor Haitians getting accused of eating dogs and cats.
Just not fair.
Did y'all hear? Well, I know you heard. Did you hear the pastor today that I played, Tony, that was talking about how it's voodoo culture and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that was
That's fascinating.
I mean,
anyway.
it's just a reality, and for these people to deny that, it's just the culture. That's it, and there's nothing. It's instead of ignoring, and Democrats are notorious at this, ignoring the problem and allowing it to persist, allowing it to get worse. That's what they're doing here. The problem is people's pets are being eaten, local geese are being eaten, and instead of saying, "Oh, you're right, let's fix that," they say, "It doesn't exist."
And you let a Haitian get shot.
Yeah, somebody fights back, shoots a Haitian. It's a hate crime. MAGA people.
It's the procrastination administration.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Trump. Call me, baby. I got tons of ideas.
Did you come up with that by yourself?
Yes, I did. It just hit me. Boom, out of the blue.
You
They
got-
rhyme. Those two words rhyme.
Don't you have a commercial or something that you brought today?
Oh, I didn't do it, but I ran across it, and it's God, it's just fascinating. What I love about what the right does so well. Everybody talks about, well, you got to be, the creative types or the liberals, this and that. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Okay.
Because the best stuff is coming from the right.
Oh, absolutely.
And this it's clever comedy. And this one, it makes you feel uneasy, but you laugh at the same time. So it's educating and making you laugh, man. It's genius.
They call that the left can't meme. That's been a narrative for a long time. It's not a narrative. I mean, it's true. It's a true narrative.
Yeah. Well, this is next level.
So this is what you brought. You didn't make this, but you found it and you thought it was
Yeah,
worth.
I was like, we've got to.
Okay. Well, let's check this out then and see how this goes.
Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I wish my small town could be more like the urban slums of California? Why can't there be more trash and feces on the streets of this sleepy little town? Well, we've got the solution. Dipshizzy. By voting to install Dipshizzy, you can help every small town in America become more like the dumpster fire that are the cities of California. Dipshizzy won't just destroy small towns either. It works wonders in the countryside, too. By pushing socialist economic policies, Dipshizzy can rapidly create inflation, making everything more expensive. Ask yourself if Dipshizzy is right for you and your community. Because why settle for the good life when you can have a California dumpster fire?
Dipshizzy is not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. In fact, Dipshizzy will probably make your life much worse. Side effects of Dipshizzy include overdrawn bank accounts, illegal immigration, and communist-style government. Consult with your father before starting Dipshizzy. Do not start Dipshizzy if you enjoy the First or Second Amendment. If you're a dude who likes to wear thongs, Dipshizzy may be right for you.
If you're a dude that likes to wear thongs.
And that's like that guy is like a real big liberal punk.
His name's Harry.
Sisson.
Harry Sisson. That's it.
It almost sounds like a made-up name.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and he, I think he got outed for being paid by the Democrats to be the
Yes.
young, look at me, come on, Gen Z, let's vote for Kamala. It's like, that's got to be exhausting. I understand. You're just trying to capitalize on making a living, but
you have no purpose. To me, you're soulless. It's
Right.
like, okay, hey, I can make money. I'll say whatever you want me to.
You're selling out your country.
Yes.
And that's
Look at me, look at me, look at me.
I wonder how much they paid that kid for real. It has to be at least $50K, if not $100 at this point. He's made himself so bad. you know?
Well, they got a money laundering deal going on, so they have an endless amount of money. They don't have to, they don't have to worry about.
And they can promote him in any way they want. They've got the power to do that.
Since we're talking about Haitians and animals, I mentioned this on the show today.
Wait a minute. The Haitian administration. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a headache. There's so much stuff coming to me. It's coming. It's all rhyming. I don't know where it's coming from. Thank you, Lord. The Haitian administration.
So
it's incredibly racist, John. Okay.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but that's fine. If you hadn't been canceled at this point,
That's
Angry
true.
Shakespeare and everything else,
boy, that's
I think
true.
you're safe. So we talked about the Chinese zoo, and I wanted to make sure the audience could see this. So the story goes, there's a zoo in China who has a panda exhibit. And for a while, people have been saying, are you sure these are pandas? Because they look like dogs. And the zoo's like, oh, no dog. It's panda. It's new panda dog. And once the people started noticing the pandas panting and barking, the jig was up. And this is what that exhibit looked like.
Oh man. Oh, that's totally a dog.
Oh my god.
Kung Fu Panda dog.
And these are chow chows that are painted like pandas.
I mean,
they're like, oh, these pandas are so well behaved. And my question is, because I don't know how long they got away with it, but I felt like we brought this up on the show before, like on the Wheel of Segments.
Yes, we did.
Months ago.
Yeah.
So was this zoo able to go months and months with this gimmick and nobody forced them to admit that that's not a panda dog, that's a dog?
Well, maybe we are talking about China. They were probably afraid to say anything. They didn't know if, is this just, is this from the government, or what is it? So, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember the thing?
The thing.
Yeah. With the, and the Tony.
What is he talking about?
Tony. Yeah.
I don't know, mate. The thing, Obama's pants. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but think about this. Think about this, guys. We three wrote that. Lennon, McCartney, and Harrison. No Ringo here. Think about it.
The Beatles of parodies?
Yes.
So we did a parody back when Tucker first did this interview, and it was a parody to the Safety Dance.
Yes.
But we called it Obama's Pants. And it was an absolute banger of a song, and it's still classic to this day, and I don't know that I'll ever get tired of it. So it is worth us revisiting. Even the cover photo for it is absolutely amazing. We really need. We could probably type into AI, make me a music video for this song, put Tucker, Obama, and Larry Sinclair in it, and they'd probably do it.
Do the lyrics, yeah.
I send you all those AI videos all the time that look completely real. Of course, it gets to one part of the music video, and Larry Sinclair's actually blowing Obama. It's like, whoa! No, you weren't supposed to take it that far. Anyway, here is Obama's Pants. For those of you that have not heard it, this is a #1 hit chart topper.
Total parody, YouTube. Thank you.
I took a trip to Chicago. I got to see Barack's behind. Cause while I was there, I had me an affair and we both did some lines. So say, I do coke when I want to. The driver had a guy in mind. And I hope that he's built from out of this world, from the front and from behind. And I'm in Obama's pants. I can screw who I want to. Barack is young and so am I. And he looks real neat on the edge of his seat. In the limo I can rub his thigh. We smoke crack if we want to. We've got pipes and bowls and lines. As long as there's some booty and Barack is fruity, everything will work out fine. I'll say Obama's pants, Obama's pants, smoking crack out of his bowl. Obama's pants, Obama's pants, we're doing it from pole to pole. Obama's pants, Obama's pants, I'm the man with wandering hands. Obama's pants, Obama's pants, better than the safety dance. In Obama's pants, is it safe to dance? In Obama's pants.
That is so good. It's so good.
I'm telling you, man, the lyrics, I'm telling you, just the three heads together, man, I'm telling you. Do some good stuff.
Three-headed monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And remember the other classic?
No.
What?
Fetterman?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Has anybody seen him lately?
No. I wonder if maybe he's gone over to our side.
He's been teetering.
Yeah. And he's just, you don't hear anything from him. I hope he's still around.
Fetterman!
Surely it wasn't at a P. Diddy freak party or nothing.
I hope not.
It would be by mistake. He would be like looking around. It would be a
Why
setup.
am I here?
Either that or they're having like the Addams Family 3 come out and he's like
Uncle
starring
Fester.
in that,
yeah. Good stuff. All right, well, we're going to get out of here, y'all. Yeah. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you. Tony Gump, final words.
Final words were, I really believe Larry Sinclair and all that happened, but make sure to get plenty of water, meat, sunlight, and sleep. Stay active, and make sure you vote November 5th for Donald Trump.
That's right.
This is very important.
Larry Sinclair's getting lots of meat. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely.
John Bird.
Things are getting crazy as they go near the election. Make sure you carve out a little bit of time each day to thank God for your life, for what you have, and just clear your brain and push the outside world around. Just get it away for just a few minutes each day. Don't miss The Line Radio Over the Line podcast. We will walk you through this, I promise. Another word of wisdom. Use quality dandruff shampoos and rotate them. Now, I have a real problem with dandruff. A real problem. And that's probably why I didn't wear the black shirt today, because it would have had snow all over it. So it's important that you use quality shampoo and that you rotate it. And I also discovered, don't try and clean your crack with dandruff shampoo. It's very painful and it's dangerous. I read and found that out. So that's just something, just something to think about. Stick with good old soap. Good old soap will take care of it. So take care of that crack with a good old bar soap.
All right. I guess that's it. We got new podcasts coming up, man. It's going to be a great couple podcasts coming up, so make sure you tuned in, you subscribe, like, all that stuff, and comment. Please comment. We'd appreciate that. Until next time, circles!